It's time for Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show, broadcasting live all across the state of Michigan and Northwest Ohio. This is X's and Bros.
Stroud is set again. Oh, John Buck.
Swings it out to Sadiq Bey. Defended in the corner.
To Abdul-Rahman at midcourt. Extra pass. And it goes for the win. The three-pointer by Jordan Poole. Here's the give. Walker! Kenny Walker! Touchdown! Smarty!
Goff's got it. Back, looks, throws, ends up.
Yes!
Caught! Touchdown, Detroit Lions! They did it! Amon-Ra St. Brown in the receiving end!
Sends one to deep left center field. Back it goes, and that ball's out of here! A grand slam from Miguel Cabrera. He's got 2 goals. Larkin in on goal. Scores! His first career hat trick in his 7th season for Dylan Larkin.
Here's your host, Anthony Bellino.
Rise and shine, folks. Good Tuesday morning to you. It is the 20th day of December 2022. Christmas is just a measly 5 days away, folks. Hope you got your shopping.
I was just thinking, Anthony, as you were saying that, it sounded like you were like, oh, I got to get going.
What do you mean it's 5 days away? This thing's been on the calendar for an entire year, same day every single year, and you're not prepared? Well, who'd have thunk it? That is what it is. They'll figure it out. I'm going to, you already know what I'm giving out this year.
Gift cards, baby. Autographed pictures of himself.
Oh, yeah, that'll be great. I should send one to that guy. That guy who was chirping me on Twitter, I could send him an autographed picture of a giant foam finger. That'd be funny. Welcome here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Great to have you with us this morning. An absolute pleasure as always. Text the keyword sports radio. Send that to 21,000. Sports radio to 21000. Meyer Supercenter guest line 248-951-2176. 248-951-2176. We're on Twitter at XB Mornings, Facebook, X's and Bros. And, of course, good morning to our television audience as well. On BCSN, great to have all of you that might be watching. I'll fix the camera in the break. Find the podcast, listen back to anything you may have missed on demand by visiting Google, Apple, Spotify, and, of course, the iHeartRadio app. MichiganSportsNetwork.com is the website. xbmornings@gmail.com is our fan feedback email inbox. And you can find us all individually on Twitter. Danny Cahalan is at Dan in the studio. Ryan Elke is at RyanL_Key. And I'm Anthony Bellino at AC Bellino. Gentlemen, good morning to both of you. How was your Monday evening?
Good. I worked the Red Wings' eventual loss to the Capitals. Yeah, what do they say? Worst lead in hockey's 2-goal lead.
Goals.
So, especially when you're playing, a team that's as good as the Capitals. They dominated the second and third period of that game. So, Red Wings are they're back on their heels. They got to get it. Man, they need – they're going to lose tomorrow, presumably, to Tampa. At this rate, they got to get that one against Ottawa on Friday.
Yeah, it would definitely help, but you also can't get outscored. They've gone 6 games without a win, and they've been outscored 23-10 over that span. And that's just this is the National Hockey League. Like, you got to score goals. I mean, we talked about it yesterday. 7th worst team in the league is in terms of goals for. They just aren't producing any offense at all, and that's a huge issue, huge issue. But I mean, we shall see. Hey, more allegations against the Phoenix Suns. Remember, Mr. Sarver, who created that hostile workplace culture. One current employee said, but the executives upheld it. Are we going to get another pro beyond Robert Sarver in Phoenix? Maybe they will ever, maybe they'll just get back to playing basketball at some point once they get all this stuff figured out. If that ever happens, I can't imagine that it will. It's just going to continue to kind of spiral there. What else did we have going on? Red Wings Monday Night Football last night. Wish both teams would have found a way to lose. Unfortunately, the Green Bay Packers won Now they're talking about the playoff push in Green Bay. That's disgusting. Ugh. Anything else?
I was really, really happy that A.J. Dillon got hurt so that Aaron Jones could get over 50 rushing yards. I really, really needed him to get over 50 rushing yards.
Jeez Louise. Hey, thanks so much for getting hurt. We appreciate it. But it's got to open up opportunity for somebody else, right? And that's what happened. Couple of bowl games today. Eastern Michigan taking on San Jose State.
All
so
right,
that's
at least
exciting.
I might actually care. I might watch that just because I'm with you, Anthony. There's too many games. I don't care about any of them other than the local teams, truthfully.
Yeah. No, it's there's too many of them. This month off in between playoff games is complete travesty. The fact that some people are going to try to claim finals week and whatever, like, dude, you can move any schedule. The guys can come on. John Wagner and I are going to talk about this coming up at 6:35 because he's a real traditionalist when it comes to the Bulls. I'm trying to get him to move out of the Stone Age and get back to, just get back to. Let's get back to football. We should not be playing a game Thanksgiving and then waiting until New Year's Eve to play another one. It's just ridiculous. So we shall we shall see what Mr. Wagner has to say. I got a feeling though it's not going to be very positive in that regard. Also, big news yesterday. Marty Boer of the Michigan Sports Network, aka our boss, called me and he said that there will be details coming out, but somebody's going to LA. If the Wolverines can take care of business on New Year's Eve. So I'm just going to throw that out there right now at 6:08 in the morning. Somebody's going to L.A. if Michigan wins against TCU. L.A. obviously being the host of the national championship game. So we are now we just wait, see whatever the deal is. Is it going to be another text to win? Is it going to be I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it. But yeah, we're giving away not one but two trips of a lifetime to go watch Michigan football. And that is a beautiful thing. All right, what else is going on in the sports world? We'll try to get you all caught up with all the happenings. We'll do so right now in the headlines.
Big news.
I have a little news flash.
Let's check the headlines.
No, it's real news for once.
The biggest stories in the local, regional, and national news.
This is huge news.
Not only do we have Eastern versus San Jose State today at 3:30, we also have Toledo taking on Liberty in the Boca Bowl at 7:30 over on ESPN. So that will definitely get a screen tonight. The other screen is going to have the Utah Jazz taking on the Detroit Pistons at LCA at 7 o'clock. That'll be exciting. We've got, mid-afternoon shooty hoops with the Toledo Rockets. I didn't even know that they played this afternoon. Luckily, it's not a home game or I'd really be in trouble, but they play Vermont at 2 o'clock on ESPN+. That's kind of interesting. Detroit Red Wings last night, they were a loser 4-3 in overtime. Winless streak now moves to 6 games. At least they get a point, but that's, just kind of is what it is. The Eagles say that quarterback Jalen Hurts has a sprained shoulder, and it's his throwing shoulder. It happened against the Chicago Bears. Put his availability for the Saturday's game against the Dallas Cowboys is now officially in question. Aaron Rodgers on the playoff push for the Packers. Quote, things are looking up. I wanted both of those teams to lose last night. Packers win 24-12 over the Rams. It's good for the pick. I would have preferred a tie or a double loss, which is impossible, but it is fun to think about. Damian Lillard became the Trailblazers' all-time leading scorer. How about that? He passed Clyde the Glide to become number 1 in franchise history. Congratulations. Drexler's a member of the Hall of Fame, had 18,040 points in 867 games. Lillard, who's 32 years old, entered the night needing just 21 points. So congratulations to him. That's pretty exciting to be a franchise best. Ex-Notre Dame quarterback Drew Pine is transferring to Arizona State. Enjoy it. I would too if I were you. I would transfer to Arizona State if I was a college kid right now, not even playing football, looking for the transfer portal. Just go. And Ohio State's Avery Henry announced that he has a bone cancer diagnosis. He's a freshman who said he was recently diagnosed with sarcoma, maybe is how you say it, which is a bone cancer most commonly found in teenagers and young people, which is a scary ordeal. All right, we'll step aside when we return. Monday Night Football last night. What happened? What do you need to know about it? We'll talk about it next year. X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
It's that time of year again, and there's no better way for sports fans to celebrate the season than with BetMGM's 12 days of giveaways. Hi, this is Matt Shepard. Happy holidays. Opening your presents is easy. Just sign into your BetMGM account and unwrap a new giveaway every day between December 14th and December 25th. You'll find everything a bettor needs to enjoy the holidays, including deposit matches, free bets, and parlay boost tokens for all your favorite sports. Log on to your BetMGM account or sign up today for 12 days of giveaways from the king of sportsbooks. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager, Michigan only. New existing customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
Get more for your money when you shop your holiday meal and more at Meijer. Find delicious Meijer spiral sliced ham for just 89 cents per pound, limit 2. And get 50% off the entire stock of holiday apparel for the family. And 50 to 60% off select outerwear for the family. Plus, get an additional 15% off your total toy department purchase with M-Perks. Get more for your money and get the same low Meijer prices no matter how you shop, in-store or online. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle and filling your sleigh with $100,000. Come out for reindeer games every Friday in December from 6 to 10 p.m. Each hour, 2 players have the chance to pick a lucky reindeer and win up to $100,000 cash. Don't miss your chance at huge holiday winnings. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Share your thoughts all morning long on the Meyer Guest Line. Call 248-951-2176. That's 248-951-2176. Now, back to Danny, Ryan, and AB.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Great to have you ride along with us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening, all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio as well. From Traverse City down to Glass City, GR to the Motor City, we say good morning to you. We welcome you. We thank you. We appreciate you. And, of course, we encourage you to join the program at any time. Text the keyword Sports Radio. Send that to 21,000. Sports Radio to 21000. Meyer Supercenter guest line, 248-951-2176. 248-951-2176. Hey, folks, as a reminder, it is bowl season, and there's only one place to experience all the action. In the heart of the Motor City, the 8th Annual Quick Lane Bowl features the Bowling Green Falcons taking on the New Mexico State Aggies at Ford Field, baby, and you're going to want to be there. It's December 26th, Quick Lane Bowl Fan Fest with tailgate games, food and drink specials, photo opportunities, and more. Begins at 1 o'clock with kickoff to the game at 2:30. There's nothing like the holidays in football. Family 4-pack starting at $69. Head to quicklanebowl.com for more information. Quicklanebowl.com for more information. And I don't know. Maybe that's on my end. Can you guys hear that? Can you guys hear that? At all?
Oh.
Hey, people, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., Santa's coming to town. Santa! Oh, my God! Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. Santa here? I know him.
Here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane.
That's what happens, folks. You heard the bells. You know what time it is. Do you know what time it is? Are you aware of what time it is right now? It's 6:20 in the morning on Tuesday. Too early for the ticket clause to come by and spread some Christmas cheer? Is that a yes? Is that a no?
I already put it on the graphic to say call now. So, no, ticket clause is out and ready to go.
Oh, he is prowling around. Well, prowling probably not the right word for an old man. For an old man, jumping down the chimney. Call us right now for your chance to win a pair of tickets. 248-951-2176. 248-951-2176. It is the perfect stocking stuffer. Head on over to the Quick Lane Bowl. Take you and the little one. Go enjoy the game on all of us here at X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. So go enjoy yourself a little bit. Have some fun on us. And, that's what we want. We want you to go have a good time. So call us, 248-951-2176. We'll send you home with a pair of tickets to the Quick Lane Bowl. All right, Monday Night Football last night. The Green Bay Packers beat the L.A. Rams 24-12 in a game that, we probably needed both to take an L in this one. Green Bay is now 6-8. The Rams are now 4-10, and it was Baker Mayfield against Aaron Rodgers. What a mess. It looked freezing cold out there. I don't know what the game time temperature was, but it looked chilly. This Rams team sold their soul for a Super Bowl. And to be honest with you, I'd do the same thing. I would. Like, the odds of having a team built for long-term success, like what we saw with the New England Patriots, is not even it's not even fathomable. A team goes on a 10, 15-year run to where they continuously make the playoffs. They're always good. They're probably going to win a Super Bowl. They're the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl. Like, it's a joke. It's a joke. That is not what is supposed to happen. That is not the norm. So in order to have, the Buffalo Bills have had sustained success, right? They've made the playoffs a couple of times in a row. They're a favorite. They haven't gotten over the hump and won it. Kansas City's a team with sustained success. Outside of that, everybody else is kind of up in the air. You got those two juggernauts of the AFC, and everybody else is just trying to figure it out season by season. The LA Rams sold their soul when they traded Matthew Stafford to the Detroit Lions and a couple of picks and everything else, and it was just like, wow, they're going all in. And you know what? It worked. It did. And I don't know what it's like to have a Super Bowl, so I don't necessarily know if I can comment as to whether or not it is worth it. It absolutely is worth it. That playoff run, they needed that. The LA Rams organization needed that. They wanted to try to cultivate some of their old fans from yesteryear and build a new tradition. The best way to build tradition is to win. And there was the battle for LA between the Rams and the Chargers. And with the Rams already getting the Super Bowl, you feel pretty good if you are, Rams ownership looking at your, your neighbor and the Kroenke family going, yeah, we got ours. What are you guys doing? Right. So, yeah, I guess it all worked out for the LA Rams. But now you're in a position to where you're 4-10. You have the second worst record in the entire NFC. You're third worst overall. You're right there with Denver at 4-10 and Arizona, who is 4-10. Now, at least if you're the LA Rams, you've got a little leeway because you did win a Super Bowl. It's not like you're Cliff Kingsbury thinking like, oh, no, we're really close, and then the Lions break you last year, and then this year you're just a complete dumpster fire. Like, that is that's tough. That's a real tough circumstance to be fighting through. But if you're Green Bay now, you're 6-8. You're a game back of the Detroit Lions looking at the playoffs. You are now officially in the hunt with that victory. And that does make me a little uncomfortable. It really does, because we've got that game at the end of the year against Green Bay. And right now, the way things sit, Seattle is the 8 seed, Detroit is the 9, Green Bay is the 10, Carolina is the 11. So, and by the way, Carolina's right there with New Orleans and Atlanta. Those teams just waiting to be eliminated, and hopefully we can eliminate them this week. As I did a recorded Zoom last night that's supposed to air on Thursday on Fox 46 in Charlotte there last night. That was a lot of fun. My buddy Will Kunkel. But, yeah, hopefully they're going to blow the doors off of the Panthers this weekend. And then, you'll be at 8-7. You'll feel pretty good about yourself, with Green Bay kind of nipping at the heels. There would be nothing sweeter than to go on the road in Green Bay and send Aaron Rodgers packing while you go to the playoffs. I think that's fantastic. I think that is that's like the ultimate dream. I do, however, get a little bit concerned about that game being January 9th, and the fact that, okay, this game is first week of January. It's going to be freezing. We're not very good outdoors. We're not really a cold weather team. Half our games we play in a dome stadium every year. Like, I don't really know. It looked a little shaky against the Jets. I don't know if that was the weather or what that was. But it's going to be cold again in Carolina. Kickoff temperature is supposed to be like 34 degrees at kick. So that's not necessarily something that is ideal. Once again, you control the controllables. You just got to win the games that are in front of you, and you're going to be in pretty good shape. And then I can get nervous about Green Bay. But I would be lying to you if I said right now that their win last night doesn't concern me. I know the Rams aren't any good. I believe that the Lions, on paper, on a neutral field, as we saw already at home, are still better than the Packers. But it does make me a little nervous that they're the team that's right behind Detroit in this push for the playoffs, looking at Seattle and the Commandos in front of them.
But let's see, now we're at the point of the season, though, where we can schedule watch, scoreboard watch. The Packers go to Miami this weekend. They play a Christmas Day game against the Dolphins, and then they host the Vikings.
Oh, and good point.
So we're now at that point of the season, though, where we can point at other people's schedules and say, all right, this is where we need the help. The Packers don't. Yeah, it's Dolphins, Vikings, Lions. That's not an easy schedule to finish out a year. But it's also Aaron Rodgers, and I don't care how gross he has looked at times this year. Like, it's hard to doubt that.
Sleazeball Aaron Rodgers. Hey, folks, new customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code HUGE, promo code HUGE. Place a $5 pregame moneyline bet on any NBA team to win this holiday season. Get $150 in free bets when they do. Promo code HUGE only at DraftKings. Now, if you or somebody you know has a gambling problem, wants help, needs help, call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline, 800-270-7117, 21 plus, Michigan only. Eligibility and deposit restrictions to apply. Bonus issued as free bets. Eligibility and terms at DraftKings.com/basketball terms. We'll step aside when we return. John Wagner joins us next. Talk a little college football. Bowl season officially in effect. We'll talk about that next here. X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle. Drift into winter on a new snowmobile. Saturday, December 3rd, 10th, 17th, and 24th. One player every hour from 6 to 10 p.m. scores $500 in premium play. At 11 p.m., one lucky winner takes home a new Polaris Pro RMK/snowmobile. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Your Auto Value Auto Parts store is part of a network of more than 300 family-owned stores and are locally run by some of your own friends and neighbors. Every day, we work hard to provide you with all the automotive aftermarket parts and accessories you'll ever need. Name brands, too, like Champion, Seafoam, Wix, Lucas, Mobile, and more. The auto parts you need at the value you've come to expect. So thanks again for shopping locally at Auto Value, where service is the difference. We get it.
If you or your family is touched by autism, learn more about Freddy's Foundation at #PopTheTap at FreddyThePizzaman.com. That's FREDI, thepizzaman.com, or email FreddyThePizzaman@gmail.com.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Danny Gahler, Ryan Elke, Anthony Bellino, all joining you. Joining us now. He covered the Detroit Tigers minor league system for a couple of decades, and he's a member of the National Football Foundation of Football Writers Association of America. He should be voting for Heisman. His name is John Wagner. Find him on Twitter at John Wagner Sport. Johan, my good friend, how the hell are you, partner?
Anthony, I started laughing now when I hear your introduction because I used to cover the Tigers minor league system. I covered college football for more than a decade. And now, what do I cover? I cover snow plows, baby. I cover snow plows. And trust me, that is no little deal in the state of Minnesota, which, as we speak, it is snowing again after snowing for pretty much the better part of 3 straight days last week. It is snowing again. So, and trust me, for folks, I mean, if you're listening in the UP or in the northern parts of Michigan, it's like, welcome to my world, friend. If it's your listeners in Detroit or in Toledo, it's like Snowmageddon, baby, Snowmageddon.
It is crazy how that works.
I cover snowplows.
Wow.
And may I tell Anthony, I'm sorry, we gotta share a laugh here for a second. The state of Minnesota, they love their snow plows, and if you got this much snow, you'd understand why. So for the last 2 years, though, they have loved their snow plows so much that they actually have a MnDOT snowplow competition, year 3. And the state of Minnesota is divided up into 8 sections, so each district has its own snowplow, and they have a competition to name the snowplows. Is it okay if I share some of the snowplow names?
Absolutely. 'Tis the season. Did you know you're talking to Ticket Claus? We love the snow. Hear those sleigh bells jingle, and I send out tickets to the people. I'm the Santa Claus of tickets. So you know what Santa needs for his reindeer? Snow. You know what we don't need for our vehicles? Snow. We got to plow those roads.
Indeed.
Tell me Plowosaurus Rex was on there.
Plowosaurus Rex, indeed, was one of last year's winners, along with Betty Whiteout, Control Salt Delete, one you're going to love. Are you ready for this? This one is right down your alley here, Anthony. Scoop Dog.
Scoop Dog.
Scoop Dog, No More Mr. Ice Guy, and Edward Blizzard Hands, amongst others. The first-year winners, and I'm saving my all-time favorite for last. Some of the other winners the first year were Plowy McPlowface, Plow Bunyan, it's Minnesota, so of course you have Plow Bunyan, Snowy Wan Kenobi, along with Darth Blader. But my favorite, which is so Minnesota, are you ready?
Yes.
The truck formerly known as Plow.
I'm going to have to go with Snowy One Kenobi or Scoop Dog was good. What was the other one? Shoot.
Oh my gosh, it's Prince. It's a Prince reference.
I know, but I'm not a big Prince guy.
Who cares? The truck formerly known as Plow.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah,
it's hilarious. I have to admit, I made a submission this year. The one element that they're missing, I think, well, there's 2. There's no Judy Garland. You know, there's got to be something from the Wizard of Oz that fits here. Maybe it's the Blizzard of Oz. But there's also no Bob Dylan reference. So the snow they are a blowing, or the answer, my friend, is snow blowing in the wind. I don't know. There has to be some kind of a reference to Bob Dylan, and there's not. So that's the only thing that's missing with this list.
I wonder if MDOT does that. If we name snowplows, I will have to. I will inquire with my sources in the studio to figure out if we've named a snowplow yet, because Snowy One Kenobi is definitely high up on my list. Now there will be more snow all throughout the northern East Coast, Buffalo, Chicago, Detroit, but they're down in Carolina. Even Carolina is going to be cold this weekend. Estimated to be 34 degrees at kickoff between the Panthers and the Lions. But the one thing we should be doing right now that we're not doing, and it's driving me bonkers, we have taken off a month from playing meaningful football games. There are 2 games that mean more during this bowl season, and I'm not disparaging my beloved Toledo Rockets that are going to go into battle later on today, and it's going to be an epic defeat of Liberty on ESPN in the Boca Raton Bowl at FAU Stadium. The Rockets favored by 3.5, neither here nor there. I'm not sending shots at our friend Chris Creighton as he takes on San Jose State at Albertson Stadium in Boise, Idaho for the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. But there are 2 games that mean more to everybody. It's the college football playoff. This thing should have been expanded years ago. We should not be taking a month off to wait. Even if you're a lover of the Rose Bowl, you're one of those Rose Bowl slaps that stuck in 1971. Guess what? It's still a month off.
Well, first of all, how could you not have mentioned Detroit's bowl game?
Because
the Quick Lane Bowl.
Because it's not later on today. But yes, the Quick Lane Bowl, QLB. Ticket, you're talking a ticket clause.
It's next week, and it's before we speak again. We will not speak again before the Quick Lane Bowl takes place. Monday, December 26th, 1:30, the Bowling Green Falcons and Jerry Kill's New Mexico State Aggies doing battle. Be there, aloha.
That's 1:30 your time, 2:30 our time. Ticket clause will be here later on in the show, though, folks. So if you want tickets to go to the Quick Lane Bowl, we're going to send you and a friend. It's a great stocking stuffer for the kids because what's better than going to a game with Dad? Absolutely nothing. So get those phones out and get ready. But anywho, what are we doing, John?
What we're doing, Anthony, what you are doing is trying to kill the bowls as we know them. You're just, there's only 2 that matter. There's only 2 that matter. Some of us like good college football, dude, and there are other games that matter. There are a ton of really interesting bowl games this year, a lot of them. And they're not just the Final Four, which, by the way, as you well know but never care to admit, all it does is give you a postseason champion. It doesn't give you a national champion. It gives you the best team playing late in the year. That's all it tells you. But I digress. Let's go back to it. One thing that you're forgetting, and that the others who continue to play week after week after week are forgetting, is it's finals week, baby. Our alleged student athletes are supposedly taking finals right around this time.
Mm-hmm.
Can we let them finish their semester, get the best grades possible, and not have to worry about playing more football? Can we do that? Huh?
How did they?
Are we not really a student athlete activity?
Find me 110,000 lined up to go to a quiz bowl. Like, get out of here. Come on, John. That's just preposterous. We could move.
Quiz bowl, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? A lot of people watch that on TV, dude.
They did?
Or Jeopardy. Jeopardy? You don't think a lot of people watch Jeopardy?
How many people win in Jeopardy throughout the course of a year? Put
it this way.
Huh.
We could name the big winners in Jeopardy just as easily as we could name the big winners in college football bowl games. Trust me. Ask your readers, or your listeners rather, have they ever heard of Ken Jennings? Ken Jennings never coached in a bowl game, dude.
Have you ever heard of all the millionaires are going to be made throughout the NFL draft, John? We can push finals week back. That's not hard. You can take your finals at another time.
That educational component, let's move that around.
We're not worried about that, John.
Football needs are taken care of.
John,
apparently, Anthony.
John,
apparently.
we're not worried about that. We haven't been worried about that in 30 years.
And hey, there's one other thing that you've forgotten about that is very vitally apparently important because it's going on right now. Have you forgotten about the transfer portal?
These are all dates. These are all dates we could push back. If the playoff is going on, don't start the portal until after the new year. That's not hard.
Why would you do that, Anthony? You want these kids to pick their schools and be ready for the spring semester so they can be ready for spring ball. The more you push that portal back, the more you screw up all kinds of things, and not the least of which is recruiting. National Letter of Intent Day in 2 days. Do you want to focus on that and bowl games? Pick a lane, buddy. Pick a lane.
I've already picked my lane.
I know.
The bowl.
You want to drop everything to play another game.
We're playing bowl games right now. What about like, let's say for instance later on today, Toledo and Eastern Michigan. Their coaching staff isn't worried about the transfer portal.
They're worried about recruiting as well.
And their kids aren't taking finals. Like, they're still playing, John. Come on.
Right now, you wanted to have those 2 weeks prior to get the hay in the barn, proverbially, with your recruiting, figuring out which kids are transferring and which kids are staying. There's plenty of moving parts going on right now, Anthony. Plenty.
And there's only one moving part that matters, John. And you know what that is? The national championship. Playing for the natty, John. That's what matters most. That is paramount. The rest of this stuff, you can move. You can move it around. There are teams playing right now. There's been teams that went to the Bahamas during finals week. Nobody's worried about finals week when they got to go to the Bahamas. Nobody's worried about finals week when you're playing around the Atlantic Ocean in the Boca Raton Bowl. Nobody's worried about the transfer portal when Marshall takes on UConn yesterday.
And here's another element that obviously you've forgotten. With a month off, you get all those extra practices, 15 all told, and you have a chance for your kids to get healthy. You have the best chance to get a healthy squad on the field for a bowl game. You don't think that's a large consideration? I was about to call it a small consideration. It's not. Kids get banged up of football players. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be calling them kids. Players, whether they're pro, college, or high school, they get banged up over the course of the year. By week 10, 11, 12, 14, depending on your level, you're not 100%. Even if you're able to play, you're not 100%. Here you get a couple of weeks to get to as close to 100% as you can be, so you have the best team available on the field for the bowl game.
Yeah, as much as I'd like to say, like, oh man, I'm just not buying it. I mean, we do it like to get healthy. We're gonna take a month off to get healthy. Nobody's healthy. Once the first game kicks off, that's the best you're gonna feel all season. Like when you got to grow up and get to the professional level, nobody's healthy once you break camp. You're lucky to make it out of camp healthy. High school kids have been playing nonstop. They're not worried about it. Like, this whole month off thing for these bowl games is just preposterous. We could have expanded the playoffs. We could add monster bowl matchups this weekend on campus sites, generating even more revenue for athletic departments to fork over to the academic side of the world. Ha! Humbug. Anywho, but you get what I'm saying here.
Well,
we should be playing.
As opposed to the opportunity of sending your kids to a warm weather site or an interesting site. Sometimes not every site.
The Potato Bowl.
Actually, Boise, Idaho is beautiful. I have been there. It is beautiful. What about going to Yankee Stadium? What about going to New York City, which is where the University of Minnesota is going?
Pinstripe Bowl.
You don't think that's a great cultural event for those kids, getting to go to New York City? The kids who went to Boston, they get to play at Fenway Park and get to see a great cultural center in Boston. Even if you're going to Montgomery, Alabama, which is where I went one year with Bowling Green for what was then called the Camellia Bowl.
Oh, was that before or after the GoDaddy Bowl?
I never actually went to the GoDaddy. I did go to the in different iterations. The one was the bowl that was by all the car dealerships. They were all combined as one. I brain locked on it. I'll think about it eventually. But I mean, going to Mobile, Alabama, during a Mardi Gras festival. It ain't New Orleans, but it's a competitive second. Mobile's pretty cool. Also, you go to Montgomery, where they have the different Rosa Parks memorials. That was interesting. It was fascinating. So, there are cultural opportunities of going to these bowl games as well.
If they just expand.
And what kind of cultural opportunity is available to Ohio State if they have to stay in Columbus for another week, or if some poor forsaken team is sent to Columbus to play in a bowl game, quote unquote, a playoff game in late December where the temperature is going to be and the weather is going to be GMAC Bowl, by the way, was the name of the bowl.
Oh, yeah, the GMAC Bowl. Yes, I do remember that. Here's the cultural opportunity if you're Ohio State. And if they ever expanded this thing to what it should be, 16 teams, you'd get Florida State. That's cultural. Get a little Seminole chop there in Columbus. That's what we want. Look, you want to go visit the, a cultural center. You want to go to Mardi Gras. You want to go to New York City. You want to go to Fenway or Boise or go to Mars for all I care. Go ahead with your free ride education. You've saved a lot of money leaving school. Best of luck to you. Go get all the culture you want. It's football season. Play some games.
There ain't nothing I can do to culture you up, Anthony. It's like, meh.
Yeah.
Good heavens.
I am.
We're
cultured.
all about the game. Let's not.
We're all about the game.
Not.
I'm all about the game. That's all. That's what I'm about. I'm about the game. The student athletes get plenty of great experiences. Go to any college town bar as a football player and tell me about all the cultural experiences you're going to have. Trust me, it's way better than going to Mobile, Alabama. I was there at Ziggy Zumba's on the campus of Bowling Green, John. Remember that? You and I, we're the same turf there. We had a lot of those places there where the tabs come out at the end of the night $3. Okay, I don't know how that happened, but I got 12 quarters for you.
Good heavens.
He's John Wagner. He is a cultural phenomenon. You can call him Plowosaurus Rex if you'd like to. I'm plowing him right out of here. Find him on Twitter, John Wagner Sport. Johan, my friend. As always, we appreciate the time.
Anthony, the truck formerly known as Plow. Merry Christmas to you and all your listeners.
Merry Christmas, John Wagner. Get out of here. Hey, by the way, did we get a ticket winner by the name of Bryce? Did Bryce call in?
He did, yes.
Man, that is that's awesome. I don't think he understood ticket clause. So for
Bryce, yeah, your tickets will be emailed to you whenever we get them.
He said, hoping I got lucky and it's the Michigan TCU ticket since we have our flights booked, but no game tickets yet.
Yeah, no, it's not. Sorry, Bryce.
God bless him. God bless him. All right, Bryce, I'll slide back into your DMs. We'll step aside. We'll come back. Hour number 2 is next. X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
It's that time of year again, and there's no better way for sports fans to celebrate the season than with BetMGM's 12 days of giveaways. Hi, this is Matt Shepard. Happy holidays. Opening your presents is easy. Just sign into your BetMGM account and unwrap a new giveaway every day between December 14th and December 25th. You'll find everything a bettor needs to enjoy the holidays, including deposit matches, free bets, and parlay boost tokens for all your favorite sports. Log on to your BetMGM account or sign up today for 12 days of giveaways from the king of sportsbooks. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager, Michigan only. New existing customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
Dirty oil can easily wreak havoc on your vehicle's engine, so be sure to change the oil at recommended intervals. And for a motor oil that outperforms conventional and synthetic blends, try Mobil 1, the full synthetic motor oil that keeps your engine running like new. Ask for Mobil 1 at your local Auto Value Auto Parts store. And don't forget to pick up a Wix XP oil filter to complete the job. Because when it comes to oil changes, we've got you covered at Auto Value, where service is the difference. We get it.
Imagine this. Winning big at Soaring Eagle. Drift into winter on a new snowmobile. Saturday, December 3rd, 10th, 17th, and 24th, one player every hour from 6 to 10 p.m. scores $500 in premium play. At 11 p.m., one lucky winner takes home a new Polaris Pro RMK/snowmobile. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Bill Simonson here for my good friend Tom Rosenbach. Now, he's a managing partner at Bean Carter. They're one of America's top accounting and business firms. They're based in downtown Grand Rapids. They now have merged with Dorn Mayhew from the east side of the state, and they're stronger than ever before in the state of Michigan, the Midwest, and coast to coast when it comes to your accounting and business needs. Find out more at beancarter.com. That's BEENEGARTR.com. Also, Tom has stepped up with $1,500 in cash in the Beat Huge Pro Football Picks contest. Now, if you beat my picks just 1 week, you'll be in the drawing at the end of the pro football season for $1,500 in cash from Tom Rosenbach and Bean Carter. Thursday night game is always a freebie. You have until Sunday morning to play every week through the big game. You can play once or play every week. Do what you want to, but get your picks in now at thehugeshow.net.
Good morning, everyone.
It's time for Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show, broadcasting live all across the state of Michigan and Northwest Ohio. This is X's and Bros.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's a good morning. Wake up to a brand new day.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Here's your host, Anthony Bellino.
Rise and shine, folks. Welcome back here, X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network. Great to have you ride along with us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening, all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio as well. We appreciate you. We thank you. We encourage you. Join the program at any time. Text the keyword sports radio. Send that to 21,000 sports radio to 21000. Meyer Supercenter guest line 248-951-2176, 248-951-2176 on Twitter at XB Mornings, Facebook, X's and Bros, and of course, good morning to our television audience as well on BCS at MichiganSportsNetwork.com is the website. XBMornings@gmail.com is our fan feedback email inbox. And of course, you can find us individually on Twitter as well. Danny Cahalan is at Dan in the studio. Ryan Elke is at RyanL_Key. And I'm Anthony Bellino at AC Bellino. Our dummy of the day yesterday is a guy that came in and he wanted the same sausage that he got for Easter. And, you know, a lot of people will say things like that. Well, I ordered this at Easter. Do you have my order from Easter? Like, they don't give you their name or anything, just in case we had some sort of, like, database where we'd be able to look up in the records and see your shopping history or anything of that nature.
And first off, tell me when Easter again was.
Last spring. I
know, but, like, the date, like, because Easter is one of those holidays that changes every single year.
It's always on the move.
So,
catch
yeah.
it if you can. So,
like, if you can ballpark this in between 2 weeks.
If you could ballpark it between 2 weeks and then tell me what kind of sausage you got, then I'll be able to help you. Well, I don't know. It was 5 pounds. Well, here's what we have available. Well, it came in a box. Everything comes in a box. Literally everything comes in a box. Do you think does the Amazon guy just throw packages out on your porch, or does that come in a box? It's in a box. So, unless you here are the options. Here's the 5 kinds we make in the store, and here are the, Kowalski and Dearborn brand options that you can have. Well, I want that one. Well, can I order that? That one you can't. That one's all gone. Oh. Well, now what do I do? I don't know, bro. I don't know. You came in on a Monday. It's the holiday. You last-second shoppers, it's your fault. Nobody else.
Isn't that you?
Yeah. You know what I don't do? Complain about somebody not having something when it's my fault.
Do you have any cheese balls left?
Oh, yeah. Oh, do I? Do I? I got cheese. God, ran out of cheddar, though, yesterday. Ugh, that was bad. But yeah, the people are, God bless them. Prime ribs, tenderloins, flying off the shelf. Get them while you can. You better play in your menu and get your order in ahead of time, even if it's, dummy of the day, candidate number 2. If I didn't buy my bone-in prime rib from you guys, can I bring it in and have you guys cut it for me? That's an all-timer. No, unless you buy it here, we can't do anything. The minute it leaves the store, that's on you. That's a health department nightmare right there. Same reason we don't process deer. Like, I want some deer that's been sitting in the back of your truck from Cadillac.
I mean, you
all the
can
way to
bring.
Monroe.
Can't you bring fish to certain you buy, we fry type things?
Yeah, absolutely. We're not.
I mean, I understand why you don't do it.
Yeah, nuts, nutty. So he's like, well, can you tell me how to do it? Yeah, just trace the bones, Chief. Let's get to USDA Scott. He understands my pain. Scott, you got any prime ribs left on the truck?
I've been out since last Thursday.
Oh, good thing my uncle ordered ahead. See, it's not his first rodeo. He knew. We've been going through those things like hotcakes.
You got it. You can't find a bone-in ribeye in the state except in the stores. So
yeah, I was gonna say you can at Danny's Fine Foods in Monroe, your hometown grocery. You can slam our ham, but you can't beat our meat. Scott, what's going on?
I love it. Hey, first off, what Mr. Wagner and you were going on about, one thing they could definitely do is start the bowl games and everything else a week earlier. Why do we wait till the 16th? Why do they need 3 weeks off? Just the 2 weeks or 1 week and move on. Start on the 10th instead of the 16th. That'll solve a lot of things. Then on, did you watch the game at all last night?
Which one? The Monday Night Football or the Red Wings?
Monday Night Football.
I did.
Okay. Did you watch the pregame, the Love Fest?
No, I don't. I've given up on that stuff.
Oh
Call me when
gosh.
the game starts, and I don't. I'll rarely turn.
I don't like to do this because it's Christmas week, and saying that I despise anything is probably not good. But oh my goodness, the Packers. They were talking about Aaron Rodgers and the playoffs and everything else, and Aaron Rodgers this and Aaron Rodgers that. And then you go out and beat a team that's on their fourth quarterback that they found on the street, and they're missing arguably the best defensive player in the NFL the last, 8-9 years? And they're anointed again. I besides our Savior's birth on Sunday, the Miami Dolphins beating the Packers this coming on Christmas Day will be a present and a gift. So, Freddie, I'm rooting for Tua, baby.
We all are rooting for Tua, I think. Yeah, I'm done with it. The Aaron Rodgers experiment. I've seen enough.
Oh my God! But I mean, they were just
nonstop.
And he's what's he gonna do? And we'll have to see. And he's just the greatest. And take your man bun and just go back to California or something. I don't know.
It's crazy how ESPN completely flipped the script now that COVID isn't a top priority. Now they're all in on Aaron Rodgers. Now everybody loves him. But a year and a half ago, they wanted to kill the guy because he was doing some alternative medicine or whatever he was talking about on Pat McAfee's show. Who he was rubbing some of his. Look. I'm not spoiling Santa Claus for anybody. Ticket clause is in the house. Your wife might have essential oils she's burning in the house. Like, whatever you think works, it's all in your mind anyways. If you think that stuff's going to help you, sure. Whatever. Burn some sage.
Yeah. And here's the Packers. The Packers got to go to Miami.
Yep.
Then they got Minnesota, who maybe an outside chance playing for the number 1 seed still. And then they play us.
0-3 on the ride out would be great.
Good night, please. Let them and just beat the crap out of them.
Wouldn't it be something if Jared Goff and the Lions go to Green Bay and finish off Green Bay's season, beating the Packers, sending Aaron Rodgers home? Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be something? I would love that.
Brother, would you want to play them? We're 9-7 and they're 8-8, and I looked at all the tiebreakers.
No.
If they beat us by more than 7, they'd get in and we wouldn't. I mean, that's kind of like Michigan playing Ohio State after winning the Big Ten and losing to them. I mean, that's how bad I'd feel.
Yeah, that would be one of, if not the most painful loss in recent Lions history. If to have the season that we're having, and then somehow, some way that game determines who goes to the playoffs, and we were to lose that, I would be sick. I'm telling you right now.
Oh my God,
I would be sick.
Hey, start off the new year. Just forget about 2023. I'm done.
He's quitting already. He'd be 9 days in and done with it. Oh, Scott. Well, good luck today driving around. Tell everybody we said hello. All your stops, tell them all the guys in the morning said hello. It's never too early to stuff chimneys. It's not. It's never too early to get your chimneys swept either. So sweep your chimneys and prevent. Only you can prevent a forest fire. What are you worried about? It's the Lions here finally. Press your Rory outfit after a long night of foaling and enjoy the ride of destiny that is written in the numbers. 2022 Silvio hiding out in Arizona. Want to also mention this. My heartfelt condolences out to the Liperato family. If you've ever been up near the airport, if you've ever stopped by Leonardo's restaurant there, off of Merriman Road. That is Joe Liperato's spot. He passed away yesterday. Very, very unfortunate. Very, very kind man. Loved that man. Loved his food. Great bruschetta bread there at Leonardo's. And man, that's a tough day for some of my parents' people there. So we'll step aside. We'll be back with more X's and Bros after this here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Get more for your money when you shop your holiday meal and more at Meijer. Find delicious Meijer spiral sliced ham for just 89 cents per pound, limit 2. And get 50% off the entire stock of holiday apparel for the family. And 50 to 60% off select outerwear for the family. Plus, get an additional 15% off your total toy department purchase with M-Perks. Get more for your money and get the same low Meijer prices no matter how you shop, in-store or online. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
It's that time of year again, and there's no better way for sports fans to celebrate the season than with BetMGM's 12 days of giveaways. Hi, this is Matt Shepard. Happy holidays. Opening your presents is easy. Just sign into your BetMGM account and unwrap a new giveaway every day between December 14th and December 25th. You'll find everything a bettor needs to enjoy the holidays, including deposit matches, free bets, and parlay boost tokens for all your favorite sports. Log on to your BetMGM account or sign up today for 12 days of giveaways from the king of sportsbooks. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager, Michigan only. New existing customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
Dirty oil can easily wreak havoc on your vehicle's engine, so be sure to change the oil at recommended intervals. And for a motor oil that outperforms conventional and synthetic blends, try Mobil 1, the full synthetic motor oil that keeps your engine running like new. Ask for Mobil 1 at your local Auto Value Auto Parts store. And don't forget to pick up a Wix XP oil filter to complete the job. Because when it comes to oil changes, we've got you covered at Auto Value, where service is the difference. We get it.
You're listening to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Can't call in? Text us using the keyword sports radio and send it to 21000 or tweet us at XB Mornings. Now back to Danny Cahalan, Ryan Elke, and Anthony Bellino.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network. Great to have you right along with us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening. Appreciate you making us a part of your day each and every weekday morning. Got a text here that says, that is sad news. He built a great place there by the airport. Was he older? No, I don't think so. I think that Joe Liperato was probably late 60s, early 70s maybe. Give or take in that wheelhouse. I just saw the news last night, so I texted my parents because my mom usually keeps me up to speed on a death of somebody, especially somebody that we know, somebody who ran such a successful business and a guy who was really salty there. Joe and Vito Liperato, I mean, they had Leonardo's by the airport. They had a couple other spots, and whole family worked there, all the kids, man. It was just very much, we would walk in, whether we were just going up there for dinner or whether it was, after we came back from vacation, or whatever, we always stopped there. It treated us just like family. All the kids would come by to say hello, even though they didn't know us from Judas. You know what I'm saying? The kids don't know. The parents obviously knew each other, but I didn't know who the kids were, and they didn't know who we were. But they, their parents always made it a point to come by, and reminds me, it's just sad. It really is. You lose somebody like that, just a really, really nice guy, and like I said, great business, great family, and it's unfortunate. So I texted my parents last night to see if they had known, and they had no idea, and they actually responded. It was like midnight when I texted them. They both responded. So I don't know what they were up. I don't know what they were up to late last night. Mom and Dad, you guys got to get to sleep. What's the matter with you?
Yeah, well, now they're sad.
Yeah, I mean it is sad. It is. It's awful. 5 days before the holiday too. That's one of the things that really the holiday season is such a celebratory time for so many, and it is such a brutal reminder for so many others. And it's when you're out there in the streets fighting for a parking spot because you're a last minute shopper, just try to be kind. Those retail workers, people stocking shelves and, cash register and everybody you're going to come across. Just try to be as kind as possible. Go out to eat, man, be nice, because you don't know what somebody's going through, especially, during the holidays when, like I said, it's supposed to be a joyous time, and you don't know what this time of year might bring for somebody who had, a tragedy or something unfortunate happen around a holiday season. That's just the worst, man. Just give us a solid 2-week break.
Or the fact that the people working those types of jobs, they're working 50, 60 hours a week. Whether it's 2 jobs, 3 jobs,
got kids at home.
Right. It's they're working those jobs for a reason. Some of the people that could just be a part-time job on top of their full-time job. They're just trying to make extra cash for the holiday. My parents did that when we were growing up. They'd take a retail job on top of the full-time job to help pay for the holidays.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you see it all the time with our safe management and ticket takers and parking attendants. I'm always mentioning those people. I'm so glad we don't have to host on Christmas Day. When the schedule came out and they're like, yeah, we're going to have NFL on Christmas this year, I'm like, oh, no. Dude, doing it on Thanksgiving is bad enough. Can we get one day, right? And I know that for a lot of our ticket takers and ushers and security folks, parking concessions, all those people, a part-time job opportunity, a few days out of the year to make a little extra scratch. And this is like Ryan was just saying, this is one of those times where you might have somebody who's working a part-time gig. We got a lot of kids that work for us, but we got a lot of adults that work for us too. That it just is what it is. You got to have a job. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna make money? Just one of those things, man. And it's just it's sad news, and it kind of derailed where I was going with our segment here right now. But I guess if you've made it this far, then you probably deserve something. So in case you were wondering, it is the holiday season. The big guy is in the house. The Ticket Claus. By the way, it's CLAUS, like clause. Right?
How are you going to do this right now? Aren't we? supposed to be Lions trivia, but
I have no idea. Wheels are coming. Got to get a ticket giveaway in this hour. Just got to do it. So let's do it.
Santa here? I know him.
So give us a dial.
And just for this is for the Quick Lane Bowl.
This is for the Quick Lane Bowl, not the Fiesta Bowl. We don't want any misconstrued thoughts here. This is for the Quick Lane Bowl, December 26th, folks. There's only one place to catch the college football bowl season. Experience the action in the heart of downtown Detroit. The 8th annual Quick Lane Bowl features Bowling Green against New Mexico State at Ford Field on December 26th. The Quick Lane Bowl Fan Fest with tailgate games, food, drink specials, and photo ops begins at 1, kickoff at 2:30. Nothing like the holidays in football. Family 4-packs start as low as just $69. Head to QuickLaneBowl.com for more information. QuickLaneBowl.com for more information. Call us right now to win a pair of tickets. It's the stocking stuffer of the season. 248-951-2176. 248-951-2176. Ticket clauses coming down the chimney, baby. He's bringing tickets. You print them off. You hit a little trifold, stuff in the stocking. Boom. Done. Kids happy. They're over the moon. They get to go to Ford Field. They get to go to a game. Get in there, enjoy a popcorn, hang out. Holler at me. I'll be there. Come up, see you and the kid. 248-951-2176 for a pair of tickets to the Quick Lane Bowl. Joe Kinsey. All right, so I saw this tweet come across the wire. This Sam Block guy who works for ESPN is the biggest Ohio State slap. I mean, this guy, the Ohio State can't produce NFL quarterbacks argument is looking worse and worse by the day. Joe Burrow and Justin Fields both have the potential to win 5+ MVPs and Super Bowls in their career. Rough time to be a Buckeyes hater.
Joe Burrow counts as an Ohio State quarterback as much as Nick Foles does for Michigan State winning a Super Bowl. Which, guess what? It's all fun and games to, do it, but in reality, we all know.
Yeah. Listen to that phone line over there, Ryan. This is like music to my ears. Listen to it. Listen to it over there. This guy, look, Joe Burrow did take Ohio State to new heights. An all-time Buckeye great. My question is, does he get a statue outside the shoe for his record-setting national championship season? And that Joe Kinsey over there from Outkick, he said, this reminds me of Michigan fans booing Tom Brady off the field and acting like they played a part in his NFL success. Oh, shut up, Joe. I had to remind somebody of that the other day. Somebody said something like, if this was a Michigan quarterback. I said, look, man, we haven't had a quarterback in the modern era to hitch our wagon to outside of Brady. And to be honest with you, I remember Drew Henson.
And my argument is, because everyone loves to bring, Ohio State quarterbacks, they don't produce in the NFL. Name a university that just pumps out quarterbacks.
Real hard. Real hard.
You could say Oklahoma, but again, all those are kind of once they get into the league. There's no university that's sitting there if you want a good quarterback, you got to Clemson for a minute, but then Deshaun Watson, he cramped up for a while.
Well, yeah, Deshaun Watson, then Trevor Lawrence, and then DJ was a failure. Just flat out failed. Alabama, you could go Jalen Hurts, then Tua, because Jalen Hurts played a big role at Alabama before being replaced
Jalen Hurts, you can
Tua.
claim Alabama and Oklahoma.
Yeah, you could do a double whammy slapper there for Jalen Hurts. But you got Jalen Hurts, then you went into Tua to Bryce Young. They might have something cooking. Their backup needs some reps, though, because remember when he came in, he was playing, the Tennessee game? Oh, he looked rough. But, yeah, there's no QBU.
Right, where it's like running backs. It's like you can sit there and be like, all right, Penn State, DBs. You can do multiple universities for cornerbacks. Of they get the best guys. They pump out pros.
Wide receiver U, is that going to be LSU or is it going to be Ohio State? You can argue about that. The Silver Bowl.
Right, but there are definitive colleges where they keep pumping out players at that position. Mm-hmm. There's not one for quarterbacks.
Dude, that doesn't exist.
Right.
If there was, everybody would be mining that school. Right now is what you'd be doing. All right, we'll step aside. Dan's got some ticket winners over there. That is fantastic. More people to the Quick Lane Bowl. That's sad. He built a great place there by the airport. Was he older? Yeah, about late 60s, early 70s, I'd say. All right, we'll step aside. The coach, Kyle Barlow. Dan Campbell changing the culture in Detroit. What does it mean? What does it mean inside of a locker room? We'll talk about that next year with the coach himself. Next, X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle and filling your sleigh with $100,000. Come out for reindeer games every Friday in December from 6 to 10 p.m. Each hour, 2 players have the chance to pick a lucky reindeer and win up to $100,000 cash. Don't miss your chance at huge holiday winnings. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Dirty oil can easily wreak havoc on your vehicle's engine, so be sure to change the oil at recommended intervals. And for a motor oil that outperforms conventional and synthetic blends, try Mobil 1, the full synthetic motor oil that keeps your engine running like new. Ask for Mobil 1 at your local Auto Value Auto Parts store. And don't forget to pick up a Wix XP oil filter to complete the job. Because when it comes to oil changes, we've got you covered at Auto Value, where service is the difference. We get it.
It's that time of year again, and there's no better way for sports fans to celebrate the season than with BetMGM's 12 days of giveaways. Hi, this is Matt Shepard. Happy holidays. Opening your presents is easy. Just sign into your BetMGM account and unwrap a new giveaway every day between December 14th and December 25th. You'll find everything a bettor needs to enjoy the holidays, including deposit matches, free bets, and parlay boost tokens for all your favorite sports. Log on to your BetMGM account or sign up today for 12 days of giveaways from the king of sportsbooks. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager, Michigan only. New existing customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
A charging team that will not yield. And with the blue and silver wave, everybody stand into the brave. Rah, rah, rah. Go hard with the game. With honor you will keep your faith. Down the field and gain a Lions victory. Go Lions!
Welcome back to X's and Bros, live all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio. That's Danny and Ryan. I'm Anthony. Join us on the horn right now. The coach. He did his GA years under John Beeline at the University of Michigan. He's currently on staff as the assistant for the Ohio Bobcats, and he's a Concordia alum. Our good friend, the coach, Cal Barlow. He's a Detroiter. He's a Michigander, and he loves the Lions. How are you, Coach Barlow?
Wearing the Lions colors proudly today and yesterday down in enemy territory in Southeast Ohio. Everybody says the Bengals are the hottest team in the NFL. I said, I disagree. Look at what the Lions have done against teams who are playoff teams, right? And we went to the Hall of Fame last week because we played up at Youngstown. So we stopped at Canton to get the Hall of Fame. Had to get myself the Lions long sleeve. Wore it yesterday. I wore it Sunday, and I wore it yesterday. You know, the wifey says, "You're wearing that shirt again?" I said, "You gosh darn right I am," because I'm wearing it to work. I'm wearing it to all the Bengals fans to see, all the Browns fans to see. Look, we're the hottest team in the league, man. Don't steal my joy. Don't steal my joy today. Give me something to celebrate. They're certainly giving us something to celebrate. What a fun team.
Oh, man, what a fun team. You're down there, like you said, Bengals country, you know, Southern Ohio. It gives me the willies. Great college town, though. Great college town.
Yeah, great college town.
And teams playing really well. And there was something that Khalif Raymond had said after Coach Campbell gave him the game ball. He had said, I didn't do this. We did this. And I think that it's very important to take a look at this Detroit Lions team, where they were at the end of the year, where they were at the end of the year last year, the beginning of the year this year, and where they're at now. There is a firm belief not only in themselves but in one another, and you can tell that they enjoy playing with each other and playing for each other, and that's something that's difficult to find, especially at the professional level.
Absolutely. You know, it's difficult to find at the college level, but at the professional level, everybody's making money. And, you know, that seems to be the number one thing. And, you know, I hear a lot of stories in the NBA, the agents tell them, you know, their player not to expend so much energy on defense because it ain't your defense that's going to get you the next contract. So that's what you're dealing with in professional sports. And I think in football, especially the NFL, where it's a league of parity, you have to find a niche somewhere. You know, the Patriots have one of the best quarterbacks in the world, and they had elite X's and O's genius on both sides of the ball with Bill Belichick, right? That's a niche. You know, you look at the 49ers, they can run the ball. That's a niche, right? And year in, year out, doesn't matter who the coach is, they can run the ball. I think the Lions' niche is this whole grit thing, and I really think the guys buy into it. And when you play in one-possession games, week in and week out, you need to have something that you know you're going to bring to the table every day that's going to be better than the opponent. We're not going to have the best quarterback. We're not going to have the best defense. We're not going to have the best receiving core. We're not going to have the best running backs. But you know what? We're going to have the best togetherness and the best will to win this game. And I think the guys bought into that. And isn't that a magical thing, Bellino, when you see it?
It's beautiful. It really is. And the fact that, you know, you look back the last couple of years, that kick probably goes in for the Jets. It just probably does, right? The Lions can't catch a break. And I'm always a big thing, like you make your own luck, right? Throughout what you do throughout the course of a ball game. And there were a lot of things in that ball game on Sunday that I think you really scratch your head. But really, for me and for our conversation, when it comes to building your team, right? And as we were talking about, enjoying playing with and for one another, being able to believe that you can actually do something. I want to go back to when your club took Michigan to the wire and ended up losing 70-66, and what that did for your team as far as their ability to be able to lean on something from the past and say, hey, look at something that we have done. We were right there. Building that belief, learning how to win. These are all important things I think people take for granted.
Well, multiple guys on our team, actually the two transfers that stick out who are not from winning programs who are on our team this year, came to our team because they want to be part of a winning tradition, and we've built a winning culture here, especially in the past couple of years. And they wanted to be part of that. And both of them said after that Michigan game, even in a loss, they said that was the most fun I've ever had playing basketball since I don't know when. And it was because of the belief that Coach Bowles does an amazing job of instilling belief and confidence in our guys. And then seeing that transpire on the field and on the court. Like when you see that belief that, hey, it's one thing for somebody to tell you, but it's another thing to see yourself actually doing it. And when you come from a program that's a losing program, you expect something to go wrong, right? And that's a losing mentality. Or you take plays off, or you're not mentally, but when you do all those things and you see the outcome, it's a powerful thing, and it does wonders for you. And it really seems like the Lions are at that point right now. It always makes me think of the 1-3-1 zone, and that was a John Beeline staple, especially at West Virginia, right? You got up on Pitt 22-2 because you're forcing turnovers, and it never really seemed to catch at Michigan. And I remember I think it was either Coach B or one of the assistants saying, you have to have guys that believe in that zone. We run the same zone at West Virginia that we did at Michigan. But if you don't have guys who believe in that zone and believe what you're trying to do, it's not going to work. And I think that's the same as any real culture, right? Anything you're trying to instill, any X's and O's, or any culture that you're trying to instill, you don't truly believe in it, it's not going to work. And that's the coach's job to instill that belief.
When we think about that, we think about the culture word. It's thrown around a lot, and Dan Campbell has taken some heat because of some of the rah-rah speeches that the media has gotten a hold of, and they've, people have twisted it, and the kneecaps and this, that, and the third. But I am a firm believer in culture, and some people wanted to call him a culture coach, and whether it's true or false, I don't know. He's got a hell of an offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, who's got cojones the size of boulders. Oh my, oh baby, family friendly show. But when you think about that's every head coach's job. Every head coach's job is to establish a program in which everyone who comes there believes in what you are doing, and especially in the game of football or even in basketball, because if you're playing defense and somebody's not all the way bought in, you're a second slow because you're not giving 100% effort, then the whole plate collapses. You give up 2 points.
And I think the difference, and there's two things, and I'm glad you brought it up. The difference in, like you said, a really, really good team, which last year our team was 9-2 in non-conference. We ended up starting 19-3, I think, overall. And we had 5 guys connected on defense. We had 5 guys who were upperclassmen who knew what we were trying to do and had been in our program is a big key. So now, if you have one guy who isn't quite sure, it's not even about being bought in, but isn't quite sure, you're not going to have success in that area, right? And it's just because you need all 11 guys on the field executing the game plan. You need all 5 guys on the court, especially on defense. Offense, you have an elite player. If you have Hunter Dickinson, you throw it into the post. He's going to make everybody else better, even if they're not, even if they don't really know where to be. But defensively, you can't have one breakout, or else good offensive teams will pick it apart. And my second point with what you brought up is I think it's so valid that it's a head coach's job to instill belief. And you do have a heck of an offensive coordinator. And Dan Campbell is very underrated as not only an offensive and defensive game planner, because he worked under Sean Payton, one of the best to do it, but also to combine that with the humility of he's giving all the credit to his assistants, which I love. But the point is, we've had this rocket scientist whiz kid supposedly as our head coach of the Detroit Lions. How much of this rocket science scheme, when you had really good players, by the way, I'm thinking of you, Darius Slay, how much of that scheme worked when nobody liked the guy, or nobody wanted to play for the guy, or nobody was really connected under the guy? We're seeing the example of the polar opposites, and I think it's fun to see it play out. And I think it's a great coaching lesson to young coaches if you look at it from a macro level.
Yeah, it really is to walk in and pound your fist and say you're the smartest man in the room. Earning players' respect is, it goes both ways. This isn't Bobby Knight at Indiana, 40 years ago. We're in a completely new ball game where guys have to love to play for you, or it's never going to work. And I just and some of that could be they might love to play for you, they might not be good enough, and that's okay. But as long as when they're out there, they're giving you their absolute best, and if it's a guy at the end of the day that when cut day comes around and you got to let him go, for the next season after this draft class comes in. And there's going to be some hard decisions to be made because some guys are really, they're playing for their lives. Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, they're going to have some tough conversations. And those players know, hey, at the end of the day, I gave them everything I could. It's not personal. It's business. I get that. But that's going to hurt.
Oh, no doubt. And this is business, and you're taking it very personal, right? You look at a guy like James Houston. The defensive lineman
James
on
Houston,
Patriots,
yep.
James. Didn't he get cut in Hard Knocks? Am I remembering this right? I'm pretty sure he got.
He was he was a 6th rounder, but he was I think he was NFI, non-football injury list. I believe that's where he started. So with the way that works and how you're trying to compile your 53-man, but in order to elevate him, somebody had to go, right? And that's a conversation that you're elevating him. What, 8-9 games into the season? Somebody's been riding with you for a couple months, and it's like, hey, we're going this direction now. And it's like, oh man,
and he's the first rookie, I think, in NFL history to have sack in 4 consecutive his first 4 games. I'm pretty sure I saw that stat on Twitter. Again, it's Twitter, so I might be quoting a false stat, but it's you look at those and they're pressing all the right buttons. And it's you look at this offensive whiz kid we're supposed to get as a rocket scientist, RIT. How'd that hook and ladder turn out for you for the last day of the game?
It was beautiful.
Oh, how'd that turn out? How did that play out for you? Aren't you so smart? You're just smarter than everybody here, aren't you? You're just the smartest guy alive.
Yeah, I can only imagine what that. And by the way, rookie James Houston, nickname The Problem for those, recording the sack against the Jets, his 5th in 4 games since he was brought up from the practice squad. He became the 3rd player in NFL history to record a sack in each of his first 4 games since the stat became official in 1982.
There it is. You're talking legendary stuff. You're talking Troy Weaver stuff from Brad Holmes and vice versa. It seems like all these guys are hitting. And is it Brad Holmes? Is it Dan Campbell? Is it the culture they've created? I think it has to be the whole is the sum of the parts when it comes to this, right? Kirby Joseph, for gosh sake.
I believe so. At some point, Dan Camp, they're all doing their homework, and you got to trust your scouts and the staff. Brad Holmes will get all the credit, right? We'll all point to Brad Holmes, say that's the guy. But the college scouting staffs, they're the ones that are out there diving through the film, putting this guy on the radar. Hey, you need to look at this guy. And you can't forget, guys like John Dorsey. There's a lot of people behind there. Yeah. Got to find the most talented player on the board that you want to add to your team. What do we need? Who fits? Who's there?
Does it remind you of all? And this just popped in my head because I read the Athletic article about Pavel Datsyuk. But does it remind you at all of when the Red Wings were retooling and integrating the old and the young, and they got Zetterberg and Datsyuk late. I think Datsyuk might have been a 4th rounder. Where it's just you're digging deep for guys that you think are really good players that nobody else knows about, which is a fascinating article, by the way, in the Athletic about Pavel Datsyuk. I think they're doing the 99 best players of the 90s or something like that. And obviously, we know who the number 1 is. That's why you're not doing 1 through 100. And then his number is also 99, so that's why you're doing the 99. But there's a great article about Pavel Datsyuk in that, and just how the Red Wings discovered how Ken Holland, how they found him and said, this guy's perfect for what we want to do.
Yeah, you absolutely. It's something I talk about a lot here on this program is, when you draft Aiden Hutchinson, you draft in the 1st round, especially in the NFL. But if you're drafting in the lottery in the NBA, those guys got to come in and be immediate impact players. That's why you're drafting them where they are at. But you look at the Legion of Boom. I always use this as a reference because Earl Thomas was a 1st rounder. He was 14th overall in the 2010 draft. But then you had Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman was taken in the 5th round in 2011. He was the 24th corner chosen. Cam Chancellor was picked in the 5th round in 2010. And Byron Maxwell, who was doing a pretty good job replacing, at the time, it was Brandon Browner. He wasn't even drafted. Your 1st rounders have to perform like 1st rounders, but the bulk of your roster is built in rounds 3 through undrafted in the NFL. If you're not hitting on those picks, you're in trouble because you're never going to be able to put the team you want together through free agency. You can add a couple pieces here or there, maybe on their 2nd contract, but you can't build a team through free agency.
What's the percentage of evaluation versus culture, or what's the percentage of both, or is it more one than the other? Because you look at a team like Green Bay for the longest time, it was a crazy stat. Like 90% of those guys were homegrown who played for the Green Bay Packers as recently as like 10 years ago, right? So it's like, what percent is that is culture, and what percent is that talent evaluation again and again and finding these guys?
Got to have it. You got to have both. It's the only way that you could really be successful. It truly is. And if you don't have it, if you don't have the culture, you might find yourself taking a really good athlete but a really bad attitude. And you can be as athletic as you want, but if you don't have the attitude, then you're in big trouble.
Yeah. Now, and then again, like if you have that great culture of homegrown guys that you've instilled in them, maybe that bad attitude or questionable attitude, straightens up because he's in the locker room of guys who know what the coaches want. And this really has turned into, we're supposed to be celebrating Lions, but it's turned into a whole philosophical coaching discussion. But I really like it. I think it's very fascinating to see this case study of the Detroit Lions right now, and even the Pistons, if you look at it as well, because they're drafting young talent and they're getting the guys where they want to be and how they want to play. And now at least the Lions are showing success on the field. When you did all your in August, Slow Talk Radio Month, when you're doing all your who's closer, I don't think anybody said the Lions. I mean, we're talking Red Wings, Pistons, and maybe even Tigers. I think the Lions were fourth on a lot of people's minds when it said who's closer to competing, and the Lions are by far the closest right now. And I'm not just saying because they're in season, but I'm saying it because they are.
Yeah, no, they're in the hunt. They are by far the closest. And as Tom Izzo would always say, his player coach teams are his best teams because there's accountability, and you got to answer to your brothers first before you even get to the coaching staff. And when you have that sort of peer development within your program, that hey, this is unacceptable to this junior or senior. This is unacceptable to this veteran. I can't do that. They're going to get after me before you even hit the coaching staff. That's a pretty good sign that you're in pretty good shape.
And and I think I've even said on this show before, but that was exactly what we had when we won the MAC tournament and beat Virginia in the NCAA tournament. Our players were in the bubble doing the scouting report, and we didn't even ask them to, but they're saying, no, here's what I need. I need you in this gap because I'm going to be pressuring this ball because this is what they like to run. And coaches, I don't like that matchup. Here's the matchup that I was thinking because here's why. And it's like, you know what? At that point, they could have been right or wrong, but they believed in what they were seeing and what they were doing, and that is what led to a hot team in March is what we had. And I agree with that 100%. I've seen it.
It's a beautiful thing. He's the coach, Kyle Barlow. He's got a beautiful little boy at home, too. Oh, give him a hug. All right, hey, man, Merry Christmas to you and the wife. Thank you so much, as always, for your time, and we'll chat next week, my man.
See ya.
There he goes, out like a thief in the night. Hey, folks, a reminder, get in on the NBA action. Do it and do it now only at DraftKings Sportsbook using the promo code HUGE. Place a $5 pregame moneyline wager on any NBA team to win. Get $150 in free bets if they do. Promo code HUGE only at DraftKings. If you or somebody you know has a gambling problem, wants help, needs help, call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline at 800-270-7117. 21 plus, Michigan only. Eligibility and positive restrictions do apply. Bonus issued is free bets. Eligibility and terms at DraftKings.com/basketball terms. Hour 3 is next. X's and Bros.
It's time to go on the court with Tim Stout. It's a new day to celebrate and be free. It's a new day full of action and excitement because it's a day for winning. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. It's a new day. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com. Final exams now out of the way. Students have departed for the holidays, but Michigan State's men's basketball team still has one more assignment prior to the Christmas weekend, and that's Wednesday night at 6:30, the traditional game against Oakland University, and it's scheduled every year, even though Oakland has never beaten the Spartans in more than 24 tries because of the friendship between the two coaches, Tom Izzo of Michigan State and Greg Campy of Oakland. The Spartans hope to perfect what they've been working on ever since they played their first 11 games and have a 7-4 record, 1-1 in the Big Ten. They'll get Buffalo before New Year's Day, and then it's on to the rigors of the Big Ten schedule. They just hope there's no sweat coming up Wednesday night with another win over Oakland.
If you or your family is touched by autism, learn more about Freddy's Foundation at #PopTheTap. at freddythepizzaman.com. That's FREDI, thepizzaman.com. Or email freddythepizzaman@gmail.com.
Basketball fans can turn a loss into a win with the king of sportsbooks. Hey, this is Matt Shepard. Just place a single first basket score or prop bet on any NBA game. If your bet loses, you'll receive up to $25 back in free bets. Wager confidently and take your game to the next level with BetMGM, an authorized gaming partner of the NBA. Just log onto your account or download the BetMGM app and sign up today. Then wager on any player to score the first basket in any NBA game. If your bet misses, you'll get up to $25 back in free bets. Turn game time into showtime with the king of sportsbooks. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager. Michigan only. This is a new and existing customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire 7 days from issuance. If you think you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle. Drift into winter on a new snowmobile. Saturday, December 3rd, 10th, 17th, and 24th, one player every hour from 6 to 10 p.m. scores $500 in premium play. At 11 p.m., one lucky winner takes home a new Polaris Pro RMK/snowmobile. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Freddie on hold.
It's time for Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show, broadcasting live all across the state of Michigan and Northwest Ohio. This is X's and Bros.
Swings it out to Sadiq Bey. Gets Benny in the corner. To Abdul-Rahman at midcourt. Extra pass. And it goes for the win. The three-pointer by Jordan Poole. Here's the give. Walker. Kenneth Walker. Touchdown. Spotty.
Goff's got it. Back. Looks. Throws. Ends up. Yes. Caught. Touchdown. Detroit Lions. They did it. Amon-Ra St. Brown in the receiving end.
Sends one to deep left center field. Back it goes, and that ball's out of here. A grand slam from Miguel Cabrera. He's got 2 goals. Larkin in on goal. Scores! His first career hat trick in his 7th season for Dylan Larkin.
Here's your host, Anthony Bellino.
Rise and shine, folks. Good Tuesday morning to you. It is the 20th day of December 2022. We welcome you here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Danny Cahalan, Ryan Elke, Anthony Bellino, all joining you. Thank you for joining us. Dan, how are we doing on our ticket giveaways over there? We got a couple more. I heard the phone lines. Ryan and I were talking. That phone line was ringing back there.
Yeah, they've been popping. We're at 20 pairs so far we've given away.
Ho, ho, ho. All right, let's get to the Meijer Supercenter guest line. You can join us too. Call 248-951-2176. 248-951-2176. That's where we find Freddie this morning. Good morning, Freddie. How are you, my friend?
Good morning, AB. How you doing?
I'm all right.
What's wrong? Why you so quick? I'm all right.
I'm okay. I'm all right. Yeah, tough news last night with the passing of Joe Liperato. He would have been 60. I think 65 is the word on the age. So 65, 66 in that range. And I don't know. It's my parents' age. My parents' friends. My mom was in their wedding. I'm all right.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that because his place was not too far from my first pizzeria, and I was there a few times. He built a great empire there, man. I hate to hear it. Many people don't understand the restaurant business and the grocery business or whatever, but you live it. You live it each day. You live it 24 hours a day, and then you die. That's pretty much it. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. So, our restaurants, our grocery stores, our small businesses are basically our family. I spend more time thinking about pizza than, I don't want to say more than my kids, but
it's up there.
Second in line. I mean, literally, I think about my kids and pizza every single day of the week. I mean, my wife is probably not even in my top 10. It's literally kids, pizza.
Dan Campbell.
Work.
Jim Harbaugh.
Dan Campbell is above my wife. Jim Harbaugh, I don't even give him a time of day. Are you kidding me? Please.
You love Jim Harbaugh. Don't you lie to me.
I think more of Nate Lewis than I do Jim Harbaugh.
Hey, Nate Lewis. Hey.
Bing bong. So, I called. Anyways, I'm really sorry to hear about the loss of your family because I get it, man. I get it. So, anyways, before the break, you were talking about. By the way, you know what today is, right? Say the date again today.
The 20th day of December, December 20th.
Yeah, today is 2022. You know what that means, right?
No, I don't.
The Lions' two famous numbers are 20 and 22. In 2018, I sent out a tweet that the Lions were going to win the Super Bowl in 2022. You can look back. I got it. I got it bookmarked. In 2018, I sent the tweet out because I remember at the time I was reading that Matt Patricia, Bob Quinn, and Matthew Stafford, their contracts all aligned. They were supposed to run out the last day of this year. So if those guys were to stay, their contracts were to run out January 8th, 2023. I said, they're going to win the Super Bowl in 2022. It's going to be their year.
It's the Barry Sanders, Bobby Lane year.
Absolutely. Well,
Well, don't forget about Lem Barney and Billy Sims.
Yeah, I was going there next.
Okay, well, those guys were first before Barry Sanders came along. And Billy Sims was better than Barry Sanders, but unfortunately, you guys never saw that, and he got hurt in Minnesota. So, but, anyways, so today's 2020. But anyways, I called because you guys were talking about quarterbacks at colleges. Of course, you know, the team that comes to my mind automatically was Purdue. Purdue's had a lot of great quarterbacks.
They have.
And the kid they have right now, I'm hoping the Lions draft and stash him and develop him. I like him. He's tall. He can throw. And he just seems like he might be the right situation. He might be a good quarterback one day down the line. But I'm going to tell you a team because I started looking up teams. I'm sure you guys maybe did it on the break. But there's a team that's got their quarterbacks all started in the Super Bowl. The University of California. All right? Vince Ferragamo for the Rams, 1979. That was the first Super Bowl I ever watched. Craig Morton, the year before, started for the Denver Broncos, who ironically was with Dallas, and Tom Landry famously said, Craig, I'm sorry, we're going to go with this young guy, Roger Staubach, so we're going to trade you. And then they met in the Super Bowl the very next year, Denver versus Dallas. Aaron Rodgers, University of California, our guy, Jared Goff, and Joe Kapp for the Minnesota Vikings back in the 70s. All started Super Bowls, and there was a guy there, ironically, was better than all those guys, and I always compare Matthew Stafford to him. Steve Bartkowski in the 70s and 80s, that kid could sling the ball. He was so great. He was with the Atlanta Falcons for years on years, stunk. The team stunk. They never won. They never won a division, never won a playoff game. And I always compared Matthew Stafford to this guy because this guy has so much talent. If Shep is listening right now, he will tell you Steve Bartkowski was a great quarterback. He just was on a lousy, lousy team. So University of California has done pretty good with quarterbacks, AB.
Cal's done well. I think we have 12 at Purdue. Drew Brees, Scott Campbell, Gary Danielson, Len Dawson, Bob DeMoss, Jim Everett, Bob Greasy, Kyle Orton, Mark Herman, Curtis Painter, Mike Phipps, and Dale Samuels. That's a pretty gnarly list right there.
Oh, yeah, Notre Dame as well. And the University of Miami back in the day had a bunch of guys win Heismans and come to the league and stuff like that. Before I leave, you brought up Bob Greasy. Now, your son, Brian Greasy, do you know where he's at right now?
Brian Greasy was doing TV. Last I knew.
No, you know where he's at right now? Because watch out for him getting a head coaching job real soon. Think about it. Without looking it up. Where do you think he is right now? A lot of people don't even know this. You're looking it up, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't know the answer. I was waiting for you to tell me.
Oh, he's a quarterback coach at the San Francisco 49ers.
Really?
Yes. So
no wonder they're having so much success there.
Yeah, so watch out for him. He might have to play quarterback. You never know.
Yeah, that's a good QB coach to have. Somebody that could come in and reprieve when their fifth string guy goes down.
Watch out for his name in the future as a quarterback or as a future head coach. So, anyways, have a wonderful day. And Scott, I heard you. You always root for Tua. The NFL screwed him on the schedule this year, so always root for Tua.
Oh, screwed him on the schedule. Oh my God, hogwash. That's a bunch of bullwash. That's unbelievable. Screwed him on the schedule. Humbug. All right, we're going to step aside. When we return, we'll get you our NFL Week 15 recap, plus more on the Lions to come. Speaking of scheduling, wait until, I know that some people have talked about it, but wait until you hear the numbers behind who the Lions have had to play thus far this season. It's pretty incredible. So don't go anywhere. Keep it locked right here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. And since I have a second, I want to remind you, holiday hoops action is in full effect over at the DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code HUGE, promo code HUGE only at DraftKings. Place a $5 pregame moneyline wager on any NBA team to win. Get $150 in free bets when they do. That's only at DraftKings, only using the promo code HUGE. If you or somebody know has a gambling problem, wants help, needs help, call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline 800-270-7117. 21 plus, Michigan only. Eligibility and deposit restrictions do apply. Bonus issued is free bets. Eligibility and terms at DraftKings.com/basketball terms. Take a look at the New York Knicks, the Phoenix Suns, the Miami Heat tonight. Step aside. More X's and Bros after this. Michigan Sports Network.
Get more for your money when you shop your holiday meal and more at Meijer. Find delicious Meijer spiral sliced ham for just 89 cents per pound, limit 2. And get 50% off the entire stock of holiday apparel for the family. And 50 to 60% off select outerwear for the family. Plus, get an additional 15% off your total toy department purchase with M-Perks. Get more for your money and get the same low Meijer prices no matter how you shop, in-store or online. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
Dirty oil can easily wreak havoc on your vehicle's engine, so be sure to change the oil at recommended intervals. And for a motor oil that outperforms conventional and synthetic blends, try Mobil 1, the full synthetic motor oil that keeps your engine running like new. Ask for Mobil 1 at your local Auto Value Auto Parts store. And don't forget to pick up a Wix XP oil filter to complete the job. Because when it comes to oil changes, we've got you covered at Auto Value, where service is the difference. We get
It's
it.
that time of year again, and there's no better way for sports fans to celebrate the season than with BetMGM's 12 days of giveaways. Hi, this is Matt Shepard. Happy holidays. Opening your presents is easy. Just sign into your BetMGM account and unwrap a new giveaway every day between December 14th and December 25th. You'll find everything a bettor needs to enjoy the holidays, including deposit matches, free bets, and parlay boost tokens for all your favorite sports. Log on to your BetMGM account or sign up today for 12 days of giveaways from the king of sportsbooks. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager, Michigan only. New existing customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
Share your thoughts all morning long on the Meyer guest line. Call 248-951-2176. That's 248-951-2176. Now, back to Danny, Ryan, and AB.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Great to have you right along with us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening, all across the great state of Michigan. You know what time it is, Dan. Oh, loosen up those. Hey, Dan, get loose over there. Ryan, get ready to hold it down. Dan the man. Ticket Claus is coming to town, baby.
10 a.m. Santa's coming to town.
That's right. Call 248-951-2176 right now. 248-951-2176. Give us a dial. We're going to send you to the Quick Lane Bowl because there's nothing like football and the holidays, and it's all happening at the Quick Lane Bowl. It's the Midwest's only bowl game. That's it. It's the only one. There's no place to experience the action than in the heart of downtown Detroit at Ford Field, home of the Lions. It's the 8th annual Quick Lane Bowl featuring Bowling Green against New Mexico State at Ford Field on December 26th. That's the day after Christmas. The perfect stocking stuffer. The Quick Lane Bowl Fan Fest with tailgate games, food and drink specials, photo opportunities, and more begins at 1 o'clock. Kickoff is at 2:30. There's nothing like the holidays and football. Family 4-pack start at just $69. Head on over to QuickLaneBowl.com. QuickLaneBowl.com for more information, or call us right now. We'll send you the game. We're going to send you with a pair of tickets to the Quick Lane Bowl. 248-951-2176. 248-951-2176. You don't have to know anything about the teams. Don't worry about that. Good opportunity to get the little one into Ford Field and enjoy a little college football here during the bowl season, right? We got Boca Bowl coming up a little bit later. My guys, the Toledo Rockets, that'll be exciting. And we've got Eastern Michigan taking on San Jose State at 3:30. Boca Bowl at the Rockets against Liberty is at 7:30. So a couple of good bowl games for you this evening. All right, it's time, as it always is, to recap everything that took place in Week 15 of the NFL football season. It all begins right now. Wait a minute, I picked the wrong song, but that's okay. We can go with the old school, but I do kind of like the old prime time. It sends me back to the days of Chris Berman. You know, those are the good old days. You know what I mean? Like that's what I want. I need that juice that it gives you. There we go. It all started on Thursday Night Football. Brock Purdy and his new quarterbacks coach, Brian Griese, left the Monday Night Football booth to go be a coach, and guess what? Doesn't matter who they have at quarterback. The San Francisco 49ers, 10-4 on the year, 21-13 winners over the Seahawks. How good has Christian McCaffrey been for the 49ers? You used to not be able to draft him because he'd never be healthy in Carolina. Well, look at him now. Holy mackerel, 26 carries, 108 yards, and a touchdown on the ground. George Kittle added 4 catches for 93 and 2 scores from tight end U. Beautiful game there for San Francisco. Needed that one, fans. Got to have the Seahawks lose out. Then we got into Saturday's games because we're doing the Saturday stuff. The Vikings, the biggest comeback in NFL history. Could not believe what I was seeing. Down 33 points, beat the Colts 39-36 in Minnesota. Kirk Cousins, 460 yards, 4 touchdowns. KJ Osborne went for 157 yards on 10 grabs and a score for Minnesota. Dalvin Cook ran all over him at the end. My goodness. Then we got the Browns and the Ravens. 13-3, the Cleveland Clowns win. Deshaun Watson had a touchdown. He was 18-28 for 161. Ravens are an absolute mess. The Bills beat the Dolphins in the night game 32-29. That's great news. Bills clinched their 4th consecutive playoff berth with the victory. Josh Allen had 304 yards and 4 touchdowns in the snow and cold. Then we moved on to Sunday's games with the Detroit Lions traveling to New York. They told me they couldn't beat Robert Saleh. They told me he had to draft Zach Wilson. Well, guess what? Somebody finally missed a kick against the Lions, and it was the Jets. Khalif Raymond, a huge punt return for a touchdown. Specialist got to be special. Jared Goff hit Brock Wright, the tight end, on a 51-yard catch and run for the game-winning touchdown. Money Badger with a couple of kicks. Lions win 20-17. The Eagles beat the Bears. That's always good. Want to see the Bears lose every game. Jalen Hurts threw 2 interceptions, hurt his shoulder. How will that injury affect the Eagles' offense moving forward? What is the plan this week against Dallas? They got to travel to Dallas to take on the 10-4 Cowboys at 4:25. This is good news, folks. You want the Eagles playing with all their starters the last week of the season. That's pay attention to that injury. Saints beat the Falcons 21-18 in the slot bowl. Andy Dalton had 151 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Unbelievable. The Steelers 24-16 winners over the Panthers. That's always great to see. Down with Carolina. Carolina's going to lose again. Former Toledo Rocket Deontay Johnson had 10 catches and 98 yards for the Steelers. Jaguars beat the Cowboys in overtime, 40-34. Trevor Lawrence, 4 touchdowns in the game. Boy, I wish we would have seen Dallas right now. I wish we would have seen Dallas now. They're ours for the taking. Chiefs won in overtime over the Texans. That was a little closer than many people thought. I think I took the Chefs in that game. I don't know. I might have taken the Texans. It was a huge line. I can't remember. But Patty Mahomes did have 2 touchdown passes in the game. The Broncos beat the Cardinals 24-15 because the Cardinals stink. Both those teams are 4-10. The Raiders beat the Patriots. Matt Patricia's offense is absolute hot flaming garbage. Get him out of the league. Ramondre Stevenson did have a nice game, though. 19 carries, 172 yards and a touchdown. Derek Carr threw for 3 touchdowns on 231 yards passing. Raiders improved to 6-8. Pats fall to 7-7. Chargers beat the Titans 17-14. Don't look now, folks, but the Tennessee Titans are tied with the Lions. They're both 7-7. Is that incredible or what? Bellino's Bolts win. They're 8-6 now on the year. Bengals beat the Buccaneers. What in God's green earth happened here? 3 touchdowns and a whole lot of picks for Tom Brady and company. This was an absolute disaster. Joe Burrow threw 4 touchdowns and a pick. Brady threw 3 touchdowns and 2 picks. The Bengals scored 17 unanswered points in the third quarter, 14 in the fourth. Meltdown mode for Tampa Bay. Giovanni Bernard ducking the press after. That's never good. Giants beat the Commanders. Wish both those teams would have lost. G-Men win 20-12 over the Commandos. They're now 8-5-1. Commanders are 7-6-1. And last night, the Green Bay Packers beat the L.A. Rams. Aaron Rodgers had a touchdown pass with 229 yards in the air. Nothing really special. Kind of a disgusting game to watch on television. But hey, it is what it is. Green Bay won it 24-12. Packers now 6-8, a game behind the Lions. Rams fall to 4-10. That is good news if you're a Lions fan rooting for that pick, because the more games the Rams lose, the better off we all are. Get that pick moving up. Who would have thought? Currently, that LA Rams pick is number 4. So the Lions would pick 4. Seattle's ahead of them at 3. Chicago's ahead of them at 2. And Houston, the number 1 selection right now, losers of 9 straight. They have the number 1 pick in the draft. Lions would then pick again at number 18, according to the standings. Wow. Pick number 4 and 18 in the first round. Are you kidding me? Plus, because remember, we have a forfeiture of a pick. There's only 31 picks in the first round. The Lions getting an early second rounder. Oh, my goodness. Could look good. Could work out really, really well. Dan, did we get some ticket winners that go around?
We did. We also have Rodney on hold.
Rodney! Let's get to Rodney. Rodney, what's going on, my friend? How are you, partner?
How you doing?
I'm exhausted. How are you?
I'm good. What a weekend it was. And, you know, I was in my car a fair amount yesterday driving around, and just I know it was awful at the end of that Raiders-Patriots game, but it wasn't unexpected. And, you know, I just kept hearing that it's the worst play of all time and blah, blah, blah. And it's a bad play, but it was a fun weekend of football, and there was a lot going on.
It really was. I mean, this is there's nothing like the NFL. And, you know, like you look at the Green Bay Packers who win that football game. I know that the LA Rams aren't any good, but you won a game in cold weather. You start to build a little confidence. You start to have a little belief. You know you're on the outside looking in, so you got to win out. It's crazy the fact that this league, like anybody can win on any given day. It's a beautiful thing. It's why it's the best league in sports.
And that World Cup, like, you know, and it was, I don't know if there's ever been a better World Cup match, and I don't watch all that many. I've seen a few finals, but, you know, I just kept thinking, in the U.S., just with the way that ended and then it went straight to football, like, I think it got a lot more viewers. World Cup's always struggled in the U.S. to get that much attention, but just the way that with the timing of it, it was an incredible match to watch, and then it rolled right into football. It was just what a Sunday it was.
That's the football match you want. You want 3-3 going into PKs, right? You want some goal scoring, big save there in the extra frame by Argentina's goalkeeper, and the celebration down there right now is crazy. If you've seen any of the videos, it has been wild. Rodney, we got to hit the break, my friend. Appreciate the call. Always a pleasure to hear your voice on the airwaves. We'll step aside. We'll be back with more X's and Bros to close down hour number 3 next. Michigan Sports Network.
Get more for your money when you shop your holiday meal and more at Meijer. Find delicious Meijer spiral sliced ham for just 89 cents per pound, limit 2. And get 50% off the entire stock of holiday apparel for the family. And 50 to 60% off select outerwear for the family. Plus, get an additional 15% off your total toy department purchase with M-Perks. Get more for your money and get the same low Meijer prices no matter how you shop, in-store or online. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
It's that time of year again, and there's no better way for sports fans to celebrate the season than with BetMGM's 12 days of giveaways. Hi, this is Matt Shepard. Happy holidays. Opening your presents is easy. Just sign into your BetMGM account and unwrap a new giveaway every day between December 14th and December 25th. You'll find everything a bettor needs to enjoy the holidays, including deposit matches, free bets, and parlay boost tokens for all your favorite sports. Log on to your BetMGM account or sign up today for 12 days of giveaways from the king of sportsbooks. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager, Michigan only. New existing customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle and filling your sleigh with $100,000. Come out for reindeer games every Friday in December from 6 to 10 p.m. Each hour, 2 players have the chance to pick a lucky reindeer and win up to $100,000 cash. Don't miss your chance at huge holiday winnings. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Prince, you've been rehearsing real hard now. So Santa, bring you a new saxophone, right? Everybody out there been good or what? Oh, that's not me. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Dan?
What?
Are you calling for Santa Claus to come to town?
He already came 3 times today.
Okay. All right. That's enough.
I mean, we got...
That's what she said.
Listen, we don't know how many tickets we're getting. I don't know how we can't keep giving them away until we know how many we've got.
I'm filling Ford Field. I'm back in a section. All right. So no more tickets.
if depending on how many give away, can you talk to the people at Ford Field like this is the X's and Bros section?
Dude, how great would that be? All the listeners fill an entire section. I take all the free T-shirts and only throw them to that section.
Yeah.
Might even throw free beers at them if you can catch it. Don't let it, spike your kid in the forehead. All right.
Get those 16-ounce with the lids on it.
Yeah,
I think they sell.
Be fine. A little tall boy action. It's all good. We didn't get to this in hour 2, segment 2. We got a little bit derailed. That tends to happen here on this program from time to time. But it's never too late for a little Detroit Lions trivia. Pew, 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 pew. All right. Defensive back Don Dahl established a single-season record when he intercepted how many passes during the 1950 season? How many passes set the single-season record that entering 2020, which we know that going into this season, the record still stood. And the record was tied 3 years later. I'll give you that as a little bonus because that's impossible. But how many interceptions did Don Dahl have? Don Dahl, pardon me.
I will say 8.
All right, that was one of my 2 guesses. I'll go 9.
Oh, closest to without going over. And he hit him with a 9. Correct answer is 12. Bing bong. 12. Congratulations, Ryan. You just won 2 tickets to the Quick Lane Bowl.
Yes.
So that record was tied in 1953 by a guy by the name of Jack Christensen.
By a guy. What? Did you just say? He's an all-time great. Did you just say by a guy?
Yeah, I said by a guy named
I was
Jack
just going to say, if I go to the Quick Lane Bowl, I'll body paint my colors of bowling green, but I'm pretty sure I can't do that with one of the colors.
Why?
I can't paint brown all over myself.
Might get in trouble.
It's completely different. It's not even close. Orange and brown people would know what's going on. You just duct tape some feathers to you. You'll be all right. Are you going to go as a Bowling Green or a New Mexico fan? Like, what are you doing?
New Mexico State fan, maybe, because he's that's the home of former Lions draft pick great Jason Huntley of 2 years ago, the running back. So, I don't know. Bowling Green, if I'm going to wear their real true colors, I'd just put a bunch of cinder blocks all over myself because that's the real color of the university.
Not anymore. They're working on it. They're changing some things around on campus. They're working, it takes some time. They had a bunch of brick buildings everywhere. That's what it was. Harshman and Kreischer, the 2 dorms right there by the Deutsch. It's there was just a lot of the same brown sort of brick colors. But if that's what you want to do, you want to go out there and you want to rock your true colors, then I want you to. You want to wear all gray because you want to support Eastern Michigan as well, then you could do that.
I don't know what I've had to explain to a few people the last few weeks that Eastern does have a gray field, and it looks like film noir when you're watching their game on TV.
Where are your true colors?
Great song from Trolls, by the way.
I haven't seen that, but
it's a
I
great
do experience
rendition
it a lot
by
on
JT
Twitter.
and Anna Kendrick.
Okay,
they sing this song.
Oh yeah, Trolls. People in my Twitter mentions today and yesterday. All right, so prior to the Detroit, our good buddy, a guy by the name of Jeremy Reisman, he put together this article that I think is imperative for Lions fans to understand exactly what's going on throughout the course of this turnaround this season, right? And I think that this Lions, under Dan Campbell, I feel like we've been in 4 seasons, right? We've gone full circle here. We started off not being able to win a game, and things were looking a little shaky. They finally beat Minnesota, and it was such a good feeling last year, and then they finished the year on a 3-3 note where you feel like there's going to be some serious carryover. You go into the draft with a lot of positivity, right? So you have the first part of last year and the first part of like the first 11 games of the season last year where you're on this downslope. And then you come up for that 3-3 into the draft. You get to Hard Knocks and you reach the pinnacle of this like off-season, we're on the way up. First part of the season down, second part of the season, off-season up, and then we go into the beginning of this year where it's just 1-6, fire everybody. In fact, you only had to fire Aubrey Pleasant to change some things around defensively. And then we started winning games, and now we're back up again, right? So we've been down, up, and I feel like this time that we're up, we got it pretty much figured out. And I think that the reason is because when you look at this Lions team, and you look at the losses that they have had, right? And that Patriots loss was ugly, and it looks uglier every day. But the Patriots are still in the hunt. Who's the bad loss here? What's the team that they shouldn't have lost to? Where's that team that last year, 2 years, 3 years ago, that they just flame out? Where's that loss at? It's not the Commanders who are in the hunt. That was a win, right? You beat the Packers, you beat the Bears. So Packers and Bears, Washington, New York, okay. You lose the Bills, preseason Super Bowl contender. You beat the Jags, good. You did what you're supposed to do. You beat the Vikings, divisional opponent, routed them at home, beat the hell out of them. That felt great. And then you beat the Jets, a game that where, it's a team on a, somewhat of a similar trajectory where, second-year head coach, a lot of good thoughts coming into the season after the draft. They drafted the wrong quarterback. It is what it is. So the Lions have won some games that, against some opponents that are in playoff contention. They've won some games that you would think that they're supposed to win. And every one of their losses has turned out to be a playoff contender.
Yeah, but I mean, you also I'm not disagreeing, but you can't give up 48 points in a football game.
Well,
that's a loss.
Let's talk about that. In this stretch right now, on the second way up here, this 6-1 run that they're on, they're allowing just 19.9 points per game. That's the lowest among teams who have played 7 games in this time span, right now that the bye week's out of the way. The best scoring defense in the league. How did that happen? It couldn't have just been Aubrey Pleasant. That's just preposterous. Maybe the firing was more, maybe it was part scheme and part message as well. That, hey, look, guys, you're not going to do it. We're going to find. I know we love the guy, but it's not personal. This is business. How do you go from a team that's giving up 38, 27, 28, 48, 29, 24, 31 to giving up 9, 30, 18, 28, 14, 23, and 17? How does that happen? All right. Well, what if we took a look at the first 15 weeks of the season, right? Let's take the entirety of the season up until this point. That 14 opponents have a combined winning percentage of .590. That is the toughest schedule in the NFL through 15 weeks. Is that not insane? You lose to the 11-3 Bills, but you beat the 11-3 Vikings. You send the Jets to 7-7. The Jaguars are 6-6 now. And after their win against Dallas at home in overtime, they feel like they might be trending up a little bit. And the 8-5-1 Giants. That's pretty impressive. If you really look at the Lions,
and we also have the easiest remaining schedule of the teams we're contending with. The Seahawks, their next 3 opponents, Chiefs, Jets, Rams, they have a .537 winning percentage. The Chiefs helps that a little bit. Giants have to face Vikings, Colts, Eagles, Commanders, Niners, Browns, Cowboys.
And you got the Panthers 5-9, the Bears 3-11, and the Packers 6-8. That is, all 3 teams' current losing records, a combined record of 14-28 or a .333 winning percentage per tankathon. That's tied for the second easiest schedule remaining. And you look at this team that was 1-6 in the stretch to begin the year. They lost to the top 3 teams in the NFC, the Eagles, the Vikings, and the Cowboys, and 3 teams still in the playoff race, the Dolphins, the Patriots, and the Seahawks. This has been one of the most remarkable turnarounds in the middle of a season we have ever seen in NFL history. Let's get to Danny and Brighton, who's on hold right now on the Meijer Supercenter guest line. You can join us, too, 248-951-2176. Good morning, Danny. How are you, my friend?
Anthony, my friend, good morning. How are you? And Merry Christmas to you and your elves on air.
Thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you and from all of us here in the North Pole ticket clause in my elves. This is great. My elves. That's great.
Woohoo! So one thing I wanted to mention, you were talking about this yesterday. So I guess one of your listeners used to come into your studio, I guess, and actually bring you food.
Yeah. Yep.
So a long time ago in a land far, far away when 11:30 a.m.
WDFN, baby.
WDFN. So I actually done that more than a few times with Mr. Stone and Mr. Winowski.
Really?
Really? I would actually bring in my little equipment. I would cook those guys up some Philly cheesesteaks. I'd feed them on air. Absolutely.
Wow.
Well, Anthony is in Toledo, so you can come hang out with Ryan and I and cook us some food, Danny, if you want.
Dan, anytime I'm more than happy to take care of you guys. And that way, at least I can get Ryan to the table. We can dine.
That's good. I can see this now. We take a live shot in the studio. Dan's working on his putting, cheesesteak hanging out of his mouth. Ryan's got like the phone pinched between his ears, he's dripping juice all over him at the set. And Danny and Brighton's just out there just firing up. He's got like a flat, like a Blackstone grill in there. I can see it all. You don't want to do, but
even got have a little chef's coat to to totally put the whole look on. Absolutely.
Yeah, you definitely need the hat. You got to be like Chef from was it Sesame Street?
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah,
I was thinking Chef from South Park, but
no, not. I don't know if they let like a Blackstone in there, and I can tell you this much: this weekend, you do not want to be outside cooking.
Nope.
Definitely not. Like the temperatures are going to be disgusting.
Agreed. I have like little portable burners though, with little portable butane things. Travel everywhere. It's very handy. This is what I do for Universe. But so we'll talk about that another time.
All right.
But the one thing about the Lions that I have noticed that I think is they are healthy, especially on the defensive line. I think we talked about this last week. The Lions stopping the run has been like all of a sudden a 180, not a 360. But teams would gash us on the ground. Nobody's running on Detroit now. Nobody. And we've played some teams that actually have very potent ground attacks, and they're going nowhere because that D-line is healthy.
Yeah, D-line's healthy, playing well. Even John Kaminsky running around out there with a sock and bopper on his hand. They're getting really good depth off the edges. Kaminsky, Hutch, James Houston, who's just been, wow, has he been fantastic. And the deeper that they can get, and we saw Zach Wilson get a little mobile from time to time. We also saw him throw some punts up in the air, which is hilarious. The fact that those were even caught is disgusting. But when at the end of the game, when the Lions' edge pressure brought it from the depth perspective, they're getting behind the line of scrimmage, forcing Zach Wilson up. That's where other guys can clean up. And that's they have to find continue to find ways to collapse the pocket like that because they've got good athletes. They do. And if Buggs and McNeil, if those guys can just eat a couple blocks and let guys like Houston, Hutch, and Kaminsky come in off that edge, good things are going to happen. That much is for sure. But it has been a remarkable turnaround, and it's something that a lot of folks really, I mean, sure, we talked about, the firing of Aubrey Pleasant. Wow, this defense is so much better. No, it is literally the best defense in terms of scoring defense in the league during this 7-game run. That is absolutely profound what AG and what Dan Campbell have done with this team.
Agreed. And one thing I have to mention, because I have been critical of him, the play of Alex Anzalone has been, he's played so well during the stretch where he was almost targeted early on as this is the weak link, we're going to go after this guy, whoever he's guarding, that's what we're going after. He's playing really, really well. He's playing like the captain of the defense that he should be, and that makes guys like Rodrigo better, because now I can just do what I have to do because he's got his. And that's the one thing about the Lions is everybody's just, I'm doing my job because I know my teammates are doing theirs, and I really think that that's what makes a really good, aggressive defense.
No doubt. And linebackers that can go tackle, right? I mean, that's you got to be able to get side to side and go tackle. Like, what are we doing here? Like, how many years have we just seen poor linebacker play? And I am such a fan of Malcolm Rodriguez, not because the Cowboy stuff and the pregame fits and the hard knocks. I'm a fan of him because he fell to the 6th round. And that you got to make your hay there. You have to. We talked about this with Kyle Barlow. We went through the Legion of Boom and where those guys were selected at. And it's like, look, you have to be able to strike gold in the 3rd round and after. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, undrafted free agent. That's where a majority of the league is from, the 3rd round and later. And when you think about, maximizing not 1 but 2 picks in the 6th round, it's glorious on the salary cap. It's glorious on the field in terms of production. And then you look at the production versus their cap number, that's value. That's what it is.
So it works in the locker room as well, because you have the vets that are looking at these hungry low draft picks that are making impact, and it ups their game. And I just think that that's huge. And I don't know if we've talked about this, but that's one thing about Dan Campbell that I find amazingly respectful is even during the hard times, both last year and this year, that culture in the locker room is cultivated towards winning. And I love that. You see those guys, they believe in themselves. There is nobody that they line up against that they're like, we're outmanned here. They can beat anybody, and I have no reason to doubt them. Men, Merry Christmas. We will see you in culinary land.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Boy, that was an abrupt hang-up. I thought he was going to keep going. He's like, man. And I was like, well, he's done here. All right, folks, adjust your betting lines accordingly. We're going to have some weather down there in Boca. 70% chance of rain from 7 p.m. until midnight. So it's going to be a little ugly if you're going to watch the Boca Bowl between Liberty and Toledo. That's 7:30 ESPN.
Hammer Daquan Finn over on rushing yards.
Hammer. Where is the sledgehammer? You're also going to get Eastern versus San Jose State. That game is going to be at 3:30 tonight. 7 o'clock, Utah is in town taking on the Detroit Pistons. So enjoy that one as well. And for Dan and Ryan, I'm Anthony. So long. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, right here on the Michigan Sports Network.
It's that time of year again, and there's no better way for sports fans to celebrate the season than with BetMGM's 12 days of giveaways. Hi, this is Matt Shepard. Happy holidays. Opening your presents is easy. Just sign into your BetMGM account and unwrap a new giveaway every day between December 14th and December 25th. You'll find everything a bettor needs to enjoy the holidays, including deposit matches, free bets, and parlay boost tokens for all your favorite sports. Log on to your BetMGM account or sign up today for 12 days of giveaways from the king of sportsbooks. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager, Michigan only. New existing customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light, you might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle. Drift into winter on a new snowmobile. Saturday, December 3rd, 10th, 17th, and 24th. One player every hour from 6 to 10 p.m. scores $500 in premium play. At 11 p.m., one lucky winner takes home a new Polaris Pro RMK/snowmobile. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Bill Simonson here for my good friend Tom Rosenbach. Now, he's a managing partner at Bean Carter. They're one of America's top accounting and business firms. They're based in downtown Grand Rapids. They now have merged with Dorn Mayhew from the east side of the state, and they're stronger than ever before in the state of Michigan, the Midwest, and coast to coast when it comes to your accounting and business needs. Find out more at beancarter.com. That's BEENEGARTR.com. Also, Tom has stepped up with $1,500 in cash in the Beat Huge Pro Football Picks contest. Now, if you beat my picks just 1 week, you'll be in the drawing at the end of the pro football season for $1,500 in cash from Tom Rosenbach and Bean Carter. Thursday night game is always a freebie. You have until Sunday morning to play every week through the big game. You can play once or play every week. Do what you want to, but get your picks in now at thehugeshow.net.